Monkey Tales.
Shadow the Stubborn Goat by Kimberly Musra. Once upon a time, a merry old time, when Monkey chewed tobacco and spit white lime. Let's get ready for story time. Uncle Rox had a very bad-tempered old goat named Shadow. Every day he would feed Shadow shepherd needle and bush from his yard. But one day Shadow was tired of eating the same old bush day after day. So bright and early one Saturday morning, Shadow walked the bayside road looking for something different to eat. He sniffed all around and around. He sniffed at the graveyard.
Oh no, this is not the scent I want to smell.
He spoke. He continued to walk the bay road. Then he sniffed the salt water.
Oh no, this is not the scent I want to smell. It smells like salty water.
Then he came to Aunty Nora's beautiful fenced-in field. He slowly opened the gate to the field with his bookers. Her field was laden with orange pumpkins, fresh green pigeon peas, ripe juicy tomatoes, sweet potatoes, and tall yellow corn. He came closer to the gate and sniffed the area.
Oh, this is the scent I want to smell. A delightful scent. It must be tall, green, bushy plants.
His eyes wandered further to the northern part of the field. He caught sight of something that looked delicious. It was the tall yellow corn and fresh green pigeon peas.
Oh, I can't wait to munch on them.
Shadow went straight for the corn and the peas. He walked over to the withered plant on the ground and mashed up the juicy ripe tomatoes and went straight for the corn and peas. He munched on some green peas. Then he munched on some more. Went to the corn area and munched on them too. He was having a field day. Aunty Nora heard the commotion from her window and came to see who or what was in the garden. She was absolutely horrified when she saw Uncle Rox's goat. "What?" she screamed. "It is Uncle Rox's old goat, Shadow! I'm going to get that old goat out of my field this instant!" she yelled. Aunty Nora went up to Shadow the goat to get him out of the field. She shoved him and pulled him, but Shadow didn't budge. Aunty Nora was so upset, she didn't know what to do. "He is as stubborn as a mule," she uttered. A minister who was walking to church saw Aunt Nora struggling with the old goat. He said to her,
Let me help you, Aunt Nora.
The preacher put a rope around Shadow's neck and pulled, but the goat didn't move. he was still busy eating Aunt Nora's corn.
I know,
said the preacher. He took out his Bible and prayed for the goat to leave. But the goat continued to eat from the field. The pastor said,
I will stay here, Aunty Nora.
and I will continue to pray. I will not give up. Soon, a vendor was passing by and offered his help. He had lettuce, kale, and spinach on his buggy to sell.
Good morning, Aunt Nora. What is the matter?
This old goat won't get out of my field. He's just eating my corn and my green peas.
Oh, let me see if I can help you.
And so, the vendor took his lettuce and kale from the cart and tried to lure the goat out of the field. But that didn't work. Shadow kept on eating and eating Aunty Nora's corn and peas.
That goat sure likes your corn and peas, Aunty Nora.
The vendor said.
I gotta come back for your vegetables.
So the vendor and the priest stood and watched the old goat. Next came the dog. He offered his help to Aunty Nora, who gladly accepted. Dog went into the field and barked at Shadow. Woof! But the old goat ignored him. But dog snapped at the old goat. Shadow, the goat, was irate at the disturbance, and he turned around and butted the dog out of the field. After the dog wasn't successful, he too came and stood by the preacher and the vendor to watch Shadow the goat eat Aunt Nora's peas and corn. Then who should appear next? Ba Rooster. He offered his assistance too. Anxious to try his skill of persuasion, he went up to the old goat and crowed, "Quack-a-doodle-doo! Quack-a-doodle-doo!" and flapped his wings in Shadow's face. But the goat calmly continued to feast on the delicious corn and pigeon peas. Now there was a loud crowd of spectators watching the old goat eat from the field. Finally, tiny Ba Wasp came up to Aunty Nora and asked if he could help. Ba Dog, Ba Rooster, and the vendor laughed and giggled at him.
How could a tiny wasp get a goat from Aunty Nora's field?
They asked. The pastor replied,
Don't make fun of him. Give him a chance.
Aunty Nora agreed with the pastor because she was desperate to get that old goat Shadow out of her field.
You go right ahead, my friend,
she told Ba Wasp. Shadow the goat had already eaten almost all of her corn and green peas anyway. Tiny Ba Wasp fly across the field to where the goat was busily eating away. He crept up to Shadow's hind leg. He stung him right on the leg. Shadow swapped Ba Wasp away with his leg. So Ba Wasp came again and stung him on his back. Shadow the goat took his leg and kicked at Ba Wasp. But Ba Wasp was so fast that he quickly stung Shadow on his lip, then his eyelid, finally his nose. This caused the old goat to jump up in the air. Oh! Ah! 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 Shadow the goat was crying in agony. Aunty Nora was so delighted that Shadow was out of her field. She asked all the hard-working friends to stay and join her in a hot bowl of green pigeon pea soup for lunch. And if you had wondered what happened to Shadow, he was last seen running down the bay. Ma bim, ma boom, my story just ended.
Monkey Tales.